I will apologise for Charlie's choice of language in the live feed last night. I kind of stirred her up and she's dropped an F-bomb, so I know we never swear on this channel, but I would like to apologise for that. Right, this is a good chapter. So, it's been one that I've wanted to do for a while. It's getting the engine bay painted in the Fairlane. It doesn't look like I prepared it properly, but I did. I didn't take all the paint off. I ended up, it looks kind of dirty, but I, prep washed it and tack ragged it and all this stuff. But I left the old paint on. I just took off bits of paint where there was rust underneath it, which was just a dot from, I assume from chips here and there. And I just ended up doing that. It isn't the best job I could do, but I'll tell you what, I had a window 2 days where it wasn't freezing cold and teeming with rain, because I'm right at the edge of the garage where the door is, or where the wall is. So I had yesterday and today, plus I had to do all my other stuff as well, to go and see mum and, spend some time with the kids and do this and do that, clean up the house and this sort of stuff. So, I got it done. But I do have to still get underneath it and paint the undercarriage, the cross member and this sort of stuff underneath, and I'll just brush it with a bit of black jam. And we should be golden. So, I hope you enjoy. Right, so we left off yesterday with the fuel tank. And it's got probably quarter tank in it, if that, I'm not sure. I need to get all the fuel out and chuck it in the shed. I want it away from here because that way I can sort of cut into the car with a clear conscience. I sort of did all the front with the fuel tank in situ, but, it wasn't a problem because it was a fair distance. But I think we'll block off these two, stick him on a trestle or something and try and tip it into a couple of jerry cans. Then maybe I'll top the other cars up. It's actually an awkward thing to carry this. It's weight shifting around everywhere. I might put a mask on, there's a lot of dirt here. But it's all around here. Look at this. That's your vapour line. So we're going to be replacing a few hoses, and it's got this sort of old green tape holding everything on. So that's all going to have to be fixed. Dated 1982, which would be about right. I remember going to Ford in Broadmeadows when we were in year 11 at school. We had a subject auto, which was just a group 2 subject, and we were watching these things getting spat out, and they were throwing them into a big sort of a big steel crate. Oh, there it goes. Hey, that works all right, doesn't it? I tried to tip it out of the filler before and I had a minor spill, and I decided it's not worth it. It's too risky. There we go, let's fill that up. There's no baffles in here, so it's fairly easy. So hopefully it's not really bad fuel, but the Fairlane did run pretty well in it. Right, Fairlane tank has given us just under 20 litres, which is good because 15 of it went in the XC. That's the next car that I've got to get on the road. These face forward for a 6, sideways for a V8, because the fuel lines obviously are really different. As we've been banging on about in the last video, but that's good. That can now go in the shed to be stored safely. It's still full of fumes, which is dangerous, but it'll do. We'll change out some lines and we'll give it a nice wash and all that sort of stuff before we put it in the car. So that was, is it the 2nd? 12th of March 1982. Beautiful. Don't know if you can see down there, there's no lines. I've taken them all out, and just as I thought, the fuel return line is knackered. It was leaking on the where it passes through near the rear axle. So that doesn't need to go in. I could possibly use that tube again, I'm not sure. If it looks doubtful at all, I'll just replace it. That's the original vapour line there. And the fuel line is in the shed, or it's going in the shed. I'll take the brake line out, but I'll leave the handbrake cable in, I think, at this point. I am so frustrated. We're right smack bang in the middle of winter, and I can't get anything done because it's too cold. And it's not cold compared to a lot of other countries here. It feels chilly outside because it's windy and wet at the same time. So I don't want to lie on the ground out here to do this. So it's been a week between drinks. Like, I pulled the fuel tank out. I thought this went off, it just vibrated. I pulled the tank out a week ago, and I haven't been able to come outside. That's stupid. And here I am talking on a camera. So yesterday I ended up sorting out more bolts. So the rest of the ones that I had over there I've sorted out. And not only that, I've also did something else. I bought some transistors for the XA switches. So that is it, the dimmer switch for the dash, and I've got to reco a bunch of those switches. And there's a place that actually sells the what are they called? The decals for the switches, or I think they're stencils, and you just paint it white. So in the winter I'm going to do videos on that too. But in the meantime, today's weather's pretty warm actually. It's 14 degrees or something. I'm going to do this. And I'm having, you know the other thing, right? You know the other thing? I'm having doubts about underneath this. I might have to do the whole thing. I don't want to, but I know what I'm like. I've already, look at this, 2 plated nuts on the wheel. So those wheels will come off, the tyres, sorry, will come off, and I'll get them blasted and powder coated, those standard wheels. So in the meantime, I got some kit from work, and I've got to wear some respirator stuff because that's likely to have lead in it, that paint. So I'm just going to start. The issue I've had is there's all these little rust spots, and I've been taking paint right off, and I don't want to take all of it, but I might have to. I haven't taken all the paint off. I wanted to, but I haven't done it. So what do you do? I'm going to put my mask on. I've got to buy some more cartridges for this too. It's an organic mask. Going to go over the metal there. You know when you say to yourself, truck it. Well, you don't say truck, you say something else. That's what I've just said about this, because I'm about to prime it. I'm not going to do the top yet. I just want to do over some of the repairs, over some of the bare metal areas. And I miss one. And I've still got a bit more cleaning under there. I have to get this done because of the blasted weather. So I'm just going to put this on. Oh, look, I missed that. What an idiot. See that bare metal edge? Moron. So let's stick this on a tripod and splash it with a bit of primer. I don't want to get anything dirty. Can I fit that in there? Is it going to fall? Hang on, what about here? No, that doesn't look too much better. Damn, what about here? I need to hold the gun. What about here? That's much better. All right. Well, just
seen 2 more repairs I forgot to do. I've just seen more. Look. I didn't mask the bottom. Oh damn, there's a bolt in there that's dropped, I've just seen it. Now it's a painted bolt. Notice I paint behind here. Ford don't do it. Well, I don't seem to. I'm gonna get out of here now.
Right, let's talk about this. I just threw a bit under there for now. Just a satin black under there will do. I've primed the engine bay. Well, it's first prime. From here, there's going to be spot primes because Ford are pretty rough. None of that was me. That was just all at the factory. Runs like that. This one here, I had nothing to do with it. That's what I did at the back. But it is pretty rough. Having said that though, once it's painted and dressed, I don't think it's going to matter. Not a show car. Never going to be a show car. It's a cheap recommissioned gig. I've masked off. I've done my little tunnel mask there. I always do that. I just have to clean underneath a little bit more. Just because of that pesky leak it had and all the dirt and dust. But you know, it'll do. It's just one of those it'll do gigs. So as long as it doesn't lift or peel or anything like that. And I'll get rid of the big offensive things. The bits under the steering box that are rough, I don't care. Ford did it. And so if they did it, it's got to be all right. I think it's infinitely, as far as seam sealing and that sort of thing, it is untidier than the XW. So they did, they didn't finish them quite as well as the earlier cars. Anyway, that's it for this. Oh, that's it for today. I'll come out tomorrow. I've got to rub this back where the track marks from the Epotech were, and then I can paint the whole thing green. And that is going to look nuts. I also painted these. There's a lot of crap in the paint. I don't think it matters. They're just backing plates. These parts I do care about because you see them. And I think that's a much nicer finish. That's a little bit dull. I just did them quick dry underneath, cured enamel, and that's air dry. So they're still a little bit damp, bit tacky, but they'll be fine.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. Gotta be careful with this.
Alright, so we've got some colour on this 2 coat. It's got to be careful with this because, whoopsie, it is, damn, it's not a full body colour, it is actually quite transparent. But 2 coats, that'll do it. I'll give it a bit of clear. Engine bay is messy, but I didn't do it. So therefore I don't care. So I'll mix up a bit of clear when this is adequately dry. That's probably dry enough now actually. And I'll throw it on. I've got to watch it though because it's getting darker. And, you know, I want to see it shiny.
I'll give it a clear. It's actually not that good. It's okay. It's okay. I kicked all along there when I got out. So how's that looking? That's not looking too bad. You can see the factory runs are still in it. But as I said, you know, once it's dressed, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
You ready for this? Look, the first plated part. I can't tighten it up. That's absolutely crap plating. Just a sec. Oh, look at that. It goes like that, and then this little... Does that go there, or is that the boot? That's the boot, isn't it? Well, you get the picture, right? Look at that. Gold-plated stuff. Well, it looks like yellow plating, really. And you can see the variation in this place. That was done in the following batch. So I got that, as opposed to that. That's why I miss Warner's to a point, but that doesn't matter. That's the hammer job. Fairlane's engine base painted. I haven't done underneath yet, so I've just thrown a bit of satin black there, but that'll go underneath as well. I've rushed it pretty badly, to be quite frank, and damage there. I'll just brush touch that. That's all I'm going to do with that. You can't see it with a radiator and a V8 engine. You're never going to see that. Damn. But I think it looks really nice. It's a beautiful colour. Albeit a bit untidy, but that's Ford. As well as a bit of my untidiness, but mainly Ford. I've done the tunnel just to there, and it's kind of messy, but what do you do? And I've got to tidy up there. We've still got remnants of oil I've cleaned up to there, but not further. So that's all going to have to be tidied. You can see some green overspray and that's just sitting on grease. So I'll mask that off and I'll rattle can that bit there. The rest of it I'm just going to try and wash, I think, and I'll do the same on that side. But all things considered, I'm not unhappy with it. I think it's turned out alright. Well, we're nice and dry now and it feels really nice. That's cool. There are some dry spray bits in it where I didn't do it properly, but normally when I paint this stuff, this is just cheap, dirty old acrylic, but normally when I use it, I put a retarder in it to make it dry slower. But not with this, because I think it's 15 today. I have to sort of shot a bit in the plenum again, just to sort of tidy it a bit. I've got to actually, before I forget, I've got to get some cavity wax in there. I haven't done it yet. So, I've got to take these hinges off and clean up down there. That'll be green and black. Oh, have I gone out of focus? Yeah, so tidied up, green, black, and sand gel on the other side. And I've still got to tidy up underneath a bit. But it is getting there. And I'm very pleased with how it's going. You know, I mean, there's always bits you think, oh, I should have done better, but given the circumstances of this car, I don't think it matters. They're not really worth anything, these Fairlanes. Or at least they're not worth what a Falcon is. Now, I've got to sort out plating. I mean, washer, jets, that's pretty easy. And other bits and pieces, handbrake springs, and that's for the boot. Spare wheel thing. Actually, I don't even know where the disc is for that. I do have some, I don't know what that is. That's for the engine. Oh, they're the engine mount plates. So they'll go on fairly soon. I also had some powder coating done ages ago. There's the loom covers for the Galaxy. You know, the cross member, and these go around the radiator. I've actually got, there's something missing out of here, and I'm getting confused because, yeah, let me just get these out. That goes around the radiator as well, so the bigger one goes on one side. Battery clamp. Damn, I got these as well. I painted some, where did they come from? That's an accelerator pedal. I don't know why I did that. Oh. Well, where the heck is... Oh, there it is. That's for the spare as well. So that won't go in, that's just the disc thing that the big sort of chrome, what do you call it, plated block goes through. So, they're the bottom rad supports. How do they go in again? I'm having trouble remembering. I'll buy some new rubbers. You can get new rubbers for these sorts of things. One thing I do have to work out is where these guys go. But more than that, there's a lot of bits and pieces on this car. There's a lot more bits and pieces in a ZK than there is in an XW or an XC or whatever. There's a lot of speed nuts. But, what was I thinking of? Oh, the battery tray and everything. I've got to paint that too. You can come for a walk with me because I'm sort of thinking aloud. I've got the engine mount plates. 1, 2. In a box, the A-frame, A-pillar covers for up here. In a box, do you believe that? It could have been so easily damaged. I don't know why I did that. Whoops. And I keep finding, you know, bits and pieces that I need. That's a guard brace, but while I go and get this stuff blasted and cleaned up, I might actually get them to do the hinges too. Where are the bonnet hinges? Damn, where is it? I've got them in here somewhere. I don't know what to do with it. Where's the bloody bonnet hinge? There's one. Oh, here. Is that all? Oh no, I'll just clean that up. That's right, I'll just paint them. So I've got to do the hinges. We can put them in, you know, after. So, I'm going to put these over here. So remember, I've got to go to Milson's. I need more thinner and Prepsol. And we're not going too bad, really. I'll just get that other hinge as well. There it is there. They're actually originally plated. They've got gold electroplating on them. I'll paint them though. I'll clean them up and paint them. Damn, hang on. This is like life of a bloody hoarder, isn't it? This car, once it starts going together, it's going to free up a lot of room. But the problem I've got, I keep finding bits and pieces, so we have dash to go on the back of this poor old Plymouth. And this box of crap here, that's a Toyota Starlet. The jack, there's a air conditioning bits off the Galaxy and the Fairlane in here. Power steering lines, they've got to go back, go back in. I'm not sure what else I need. There's a thing for the bottom of the, where's the canister for it? Gotta find that too. Just going through a few bits and pieces. Those horns are no good. It's got odd ones, and I'm not sure they even worked. But things like this lockdown, that's an original lockdown antenna, original item, and I will put that back in. The mirrors I've got, whoops, a Fairlane electric one, and a Falcon GL black manual one, or a Fairmont black manual one. The Fairmont's over, I think Gears had the chrome around, I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind a set of XF electrics. I don't know if I can retrofit them, but they're really good. I do like electric mirrors because you can see they're very easy to adjust and things like that. Bonnet struts there, and the vacuum controls, and bonnet cable. All that stuff's alright except the horns. I'm not using those. The other thing I'm not going to use is overflow bottle, the 6-cylinder one. I've got this V8 radiator, which I thought would fit in the XC when I first did that, and they're completely different. And I've gone out of focus. Come back. That's better. So, you know, naturally I'm going to use that. Oh, I'm going to use this one. And there's some other trims and bits and pieces for the Fairlane as well. I've just got to remember where it all goes. Got to clean up all our power steering lines. And there's the battery tray. I might get John to hydroblast that, and then I'll paint it. I might paint it green to match too. And there's the fasteners, and I've got to go through those, or at least I have gone through them, but I've got to go through which ones go where, if you know what I mean. This colour looks absolutely gorgeous under sort of warm white LED, if you know what I mean, or incandescent lighting. It's dark now. I've fitted this. Isn't that pretty? So on that note, I'm just sorting through stuff. I've got to wash dash braces. I'm not going to paint those, I'll just wash them because they're covered in dirt and dust and this sort of stuff. And organising other bits and pieces, and then in the next chapter we'll start putting it together. So take good care of yourselves, enjoy a classic, and I'll see you soon.